Train your mind to see good in everything. Positivity is a choice. The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. Taking initiative and standing on it is an easy task. A very blissful afternoon to the assembly of distinguished guests. Honorable Vice Chancellor Lieutenant General V.K. Sharma, Artificial Seva Medal in the Ascension. Dr. Ashok Wadhwe, Associate Professor of Law, National Law University, Aurangabad, Maharashtra. Dr. Ian Frackleton, King's Counsel, Judge Supreme Court, Republic of Nauru. Professor of Law, University of Melbourne, Australia. Pro Vice Chancellor in his absential. Deans, Directors, all the HOIs, HODs, faculty members, participants, along with the dearest audience. With great joy and immense exultation, I, Siddharth Dikshit,
And I, Prisha Bansal,
feel privileged to welcome you all to First International Conference on Emerging Threats to Cybercrime and Cybersecurity's Ways Forward, organized by Amity Law School, Amity University, Madhya Pradesh.
always believe that something wonderful is about to happen. Alone, we can do so little. Together, we can do so much. Major General Rajendra Kumar at the Vishit Seva Medal, Sena Medal, Vishit Seva Medal, an alumni of prestigious ILS Law College Pune, and did the Masters from the University of Pune, and was commissioned in the Department of Judge General of the Indian Army, which is its judicial wing. During his service, he has conducted numerous court martials, including of sensitive nature. He represented the army in various high courts and Supreme Court. He took part in various military operations like Operation Vijay, Operation Rakshak, Operation Javelin, Operation Orchid, and Operation Parak, and served in the JNK and northeastern states. For rendering distinguished and extraordinary services beyond the call of duty in Judge Advocate General Department in the Army, Sir was awarded thrice by His Excellence the President of India by conferring on him AVSM on 26 January 2017, SM on 26 January 2016, and VSM on 26 January 2009. He was also awarded commendations once by the Chief of the Army Staff on 15th August 2008 and thrice by the Army Commanders on 15th August 1994, 15th August 2011, and 15th August 2012. Sir rose to the highest rank of Major General in the Department of Judge Advocate General and retired as the Judge Advocate General of the Army. As a professor and director of Amity Law School, he provided a vision to the law school, which is progressing by leaps and bounds. Sir believes in societal outreach and encourages the faculties to reach out to various schools to showcase of activities conducted by law schools. He got issued coffee table book capturing the activities conducted by law schools, which was sent to the environment. May I request our respected director, sir, for proposing the vote of thanks.
Thank you very much. Professor Dr. Ian Frampton and Dr. Wadri and other dignitaries. In fact, during the session, Dr. Rajesh Chandra and Mr. Divin Jha took us through various controls of cyber laws and cyber crimes, how these crimes are being committed by people, and the cyber criminals are invisible. They commit the crimes we can't see them. Cyber laws and cyber technology and for these people. In addition to that, I want to say that cyber crimes deeply affect the security and sovereignty of the country. Internet, Facebook, WhatsApp, they play pivotal role in it. I still remember when I was posted in Pune, these people from Pakistan, they were to give telephone calls to defense personnel. They have to pose themselves as their commanding officer or some senior officer to take out the location, latest location of their units, how many people are there, where the headquarters are located, When the concerned brigade commander or formation commander or the commanding officer they to get the information. The way to get the information and the telephone number is that is to this telephone and come to Pakistan. So we need to get the local from Pakistan only. And if somebody responds to that call, we have to reserve the same and inform them in concerns to the officer. And then call the know that these young soldiers were posted in field areas away from their families. And these girls, the spy of the Pakistani agencies, they used to look at them and to fall prey. And once they have given information, then they used to, they used to blackmail to provide more information. Then they will tell all this thing to the superior officers. So they could fall prey and there have been many cases where these people have been court-martialed like that for providing restricting confidential information to the external agencies. Things where the cyber criminals were playing a role to threaten the sovereignty and the security of the country. Now, another problem, I'm not going through the small problems where the cyber criminals they have hacked their accounts money from their accounts. I'm not going to small things affect the security of sovereignty of the country. States, these cyber criminals through internet process, through Facebook, through WhatsApp and other social media, they manipulate the public opinion which threatens the democracy, which threatens the elected government itself. They keep giving again and again the fake news, so that the people believe into the correct especially during elections and the more the public opinion. We all know what happened in the USA when the President Trump was to manage the fake news used to manipulate the public opinion. So this happens in each and every country these days, especially during elections. Sorry, social media manipulation. Some public opinion. So, the which they have not spoken. People it. And also that public, also that fake news. There's very difficult process. We are continuing, they are imposed very severe punishment for them. Like in India also, and other countries also, regulators, of course, in our country, they are not been appointed, but they are the process. Regulators have been appointed so as to control the spread of fake news. But all we see, the cyber criminals, they threaten the integrity and security of the country, they manipulate public opinion, they carry out cyber attacks. These are cyber terrorism. They steal important data, they steal important data of the agencies. They use the internet to create, distorted picture amongst the public, so to create a public opinion against the new elected government, carry out cyber crime, but it's bad master also. In social media, we were created so that we interact socially for better purpose. Sense. You don't view yourselves. In every moment you see, it is being used against us. As I said, fake news are being created and it's very difficult to catch them. We have to sensitize the people that they should know, they should be aware of the latest technology or the cost. We said cyber thing, we should be aware what sort of crime they commit, sort of technical intentions to their designs. Then we can stop them. Unless I we believe cybersecurity, so to in the people that support the development of technology. More said by the experts like Professor Dr. Young Fractal and another friend from Nagpur, Nagpur National University. I'm going to take more time and Jai. Autos.
Thank you so much, sir. We are gathered here to acknowledge the conduct of which seemed like a Herculean task. However, the diligent efforts and involvement of each and every member of Amity Law School has made it possible. Professor Dr. Raki Singh Chauhan is Deputy Director of Amity Law School, Amity University, Madhya Pradesh. Ma'am is also a gold medalist in LLB and is doctorate in law. She started her career with advocacy and practice in high courts, consumer commission, and debt recovery tribunal for 14 years and then skipped her career to academics. Even in academics, ma'am has set the records for getting the Teachers Eminence Award by Denik Bhaskar Group and award by Best Faculty by Dr. K&K Law College, Ratlam. Ma'am was also awarded the Most Influential Women of Madhya Pradesh by Brij Bhumi Foundation and Asian Education Award for the contribution in Education Society. She is bestowed by Sri Aurobindo Society as Teachers Innovation Award for innovative methods in teaching and Senior Investment Innovations for Education Initiatives by Research Excellence Award by Institute of Scholars, Bangalore. Ma'am is honorary board member of the Center for Socio-Legal Research, Vidhi Seva Evam Samaj Udhyan Samiti, Dehradun. She is a trained mediator from State Legal Services Authority, Madhya Pradesh. Ma'am works on grassroots level in association with District Legal Services Authority, Gwalior, Madhya Pradesh, and is appointed as a resource person in the events organized by DLSA. Ma'am also works on legal aid and mediation jointly with DLSA and Amity Law School. Ma'am was also nominated for Madhya Pradesh Gaurav Ratna Samman 2021. We now request Professor Dr. Raki Singh Chauhan to kindly ascend the podium and express her thought for the regard for the past 2 days, which was conducted in the event. Please, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Siddharth. And I take this privilege to present the report of this 2 days international conference. This was our first international conference held on online mode. The topic was the emerging threats of cyber crimes and cybersecurity's ways forwards. The inaugural ceremony was held on 2nd of March, where Honorable Vice Chancellor Lieutenant General V.K. Sharma has given the opening remarks. Dr. Rakesh Chandra, former Special Secretary Ho in the government of Uttar Pradesh, now retired, was the chief guest, and Mr. Jivesh Jha, Judicial Officer, District Court Dhanusha, Nepal, was guest of honor, and they had presented the keynote address on the topic. For this conference, we received the total number of registrations. They were 90 in number, and the abstract we received was 34. Full papers we received were 24, which were in-house and from outside MET. These research papers were presented in 4 technical sessions, which were judged by eminent resource persons. After the preliminary round, we had final round of paper presentation session to sort out the winners, and the judges of this final round technical session also had a conference on this topic, which was held today morning in first half. This conference, the speakers were Dr. Cholaraja M., Assistant Professor at Campus Law Center, University of Delhi, Dr. Pramod Tiwari, Professor, Delhi University, Dr. Latesh Kumar, Professor, Knight Foundation School of Computing and Information Science, Florida International University, USA. And now, here we are in the valedictory session. Here, as we know, that we have Professor Dr. Ian Frankleton, the Judge, Supreme Court of Republic of Nehru, Professor of Law, University of Melbourne, Australia, and Dr. Ashok Vardje, Associate Dean in Maharashtra National Law University, Aurangabad, as guest today. Of course, as it was in competition, the awards we are going to give are of Best Presentation, 2 prizes, first and second, and the Best Research Paper Award. The publication of received research papers are being planned to be either in a reputed UGC journal or in ISBN registered books. So now, not taking much of your time, handing over the podium to anchors again. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Keep moving forward even when the circumstances try to hold you back. Dr. Ashok Vadve is currently working as Associate Professor of Law and Associate Dean in Maharashtra National Law University, Aurangabad. He was awarded with PhD degree in cyber law by Symbiosis International University, Pune, and is also a postdoctoral research fellow in the field of cyber law, pursuing an advanced research course in field of law. His areas of interest are cyber law, family law, intellectual property rights, and law and women. In addition to regular teaching workload, he has experience of handling key positions in various national law universities, where he works such as in charge registrar for the University of around 4 years, nodal officer of the university, pro chief warden, assistant controller of examination, and also being a member of various councils of the university till date. He is also nodal officer for the Pro Bono Club scheme of the Department of Justice, Ministry of Law and Justice, Government of India, and Legal Aid Clinic established by the State Legal Service Authority. He is also a regular consulting invitee in the National Commission on Women, New Delhi, and has rendered his key recommendation in the process of reformation of various law relating to women in several consultation programs. Further, he was also invited by the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Personnel, Public Grievances, Law and Justice, Maharashtra State Commission on Women, Ministry of Law and Justice, Bureau of Police Research and Development, Ministry of Home Affairs, Government of India for several consultation and related programs about reviews of law. UGC Human Resource Development Center, District Legal Services Authority, District and Session Court, Superintendent of Police and needed District He was invited by many governmental, semi-governmental, and non-governmental agencies, various national law universities, and leading law schools as an expert in the field of law for various assignments such as resource person, expert invitee, guest speaker, judge in several national level moot court competition, and a panelist in several national and international academic programs. Besides that, he has around 35 publications to his credit in the form of research papers and articles in several reputed national and international journals. I request sir to please take the podium and address the gathering.
सरोज
Sir, you're not audible. Kindly switch on your mic, please.
Good afternoon to all of you. Am I audible?
Can you hear me, sir, now?
Yes,
Am I
sir.
audible? Hello.
Sir,
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Ashok sir, extremely sorry for inconvenience. Actually, Eon sir has to has some engagements. That's why with your permission, I am.
Of course, sir. Of course, sir. No
saying
problem.
Eon sir to speak some.
Of course, sir. No problem. Just want to confirm from your side. Is my voice reaching you?
Yes, it is clear, sir. Clear.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Sir.
No problem, sir. Interested guest first.
Thank you, sir.
We believe in Atiti Deva Bhava. So
thank you so much, sir. Thank you. You are so kind of you. Eon, sir, welcome to welcome on behalf of Amity Law University, Amity University, Madhya Pradesh. We are warmly welcome you, and we are waiting since last month to hear from you. And I know you are a very busy and learned learned judge. That's why we just want. I assure you, as an internal
I request the anchors to kindly read sir's profile.
Yes, sir. Keep your hopes up and see the success falling towards you. Dr. Ian Freckleton is a King's Counsel in full-time practice throughout Australia, a judge of Supreme Court of the Republic of Nauru, and a professor of law and professional fellow in psychiatry at Australia's leading university, the University of Melbourne. He is also an honorary professor at forensic medicine at Monash University and an adjunct professor at Johns Hopkins University in the United States. Sir is not only a person to be an elected fellow for an Australian Academy of Law, the Australian Academy of Social Sciences, and the Australian Academy of Health and Medicine Sciences. Aside from undergraduate degrees in arts and law, he also holds both from the PhD and Doctor of Laws degree and has been a commissioner at Victorian Law Reform Commission. He was a member of Mental Health and Tribunal in Victoria for 25 years and is a former president of Australian and New Zealand Association Psychiatry, Psychology and Law. He is currently completing his 50th book, the most recent being on COVID-19 and law, OUP 2023, and has written more than 750 articles and chapters in books. He has given over 770 professional presentations in more than 40 countries. He is the Editor General of Law and Medicine and the founding editor of Editor at Large of Psychiatry, Psychology and Law. In 2021, he was made an officer in the Order of Australia AO, the equivalent to a CBE in England, for distinguished service to the law and also legal profession across fields including health, medicine, and ideology. May I now request Ian, sir, to kindly ascend the platform and enlighten the audience with the valuable words of wisdom. Please, sir.
Thank you very much. It is a great honor to be addressing you. I hope you can hear me clearly. Somebody
Yes, sir,
should
you're
nod.
clearly
Yes,
audible.
we can hear you.
Very good. All right. Well, I will now share my screen. So I might ask whether that is working too, and whether you can see the overheads clearly. Yes. All right. Very good. Well, I am going to speak to you about an area which bridges law and psychology in the cyber area. I'm doing so from a curious place in the heart of Australia, a difficult place called Alice Springs in the Northern Territory, which is in the middle of a large area of desert. And I have been residing here for some time, doing an inquest into the shooting death by police of an Indigenous man. It has proved to be a very high profile and divisive case involving a great many sensitive issues. So please forgive me for not being physically present with you. I'm truly a very long way away in a place that has beautiful sunsets, but terrible social dislocation. It is a place that makes one reflect upon the world in which we live and how disciplines can intersect constructively one with another. And my aspiration with you is to explore those conjunctions and dislocations. So my topic might at first sight be surprising to you, and perhaps many of you have not heard of the area of cyber psychology. So let me see if I can explain that to you and illustrate how that sits interestingly beside the discipline of law. In Attrell, in a book published in 2020, in a book on the subject of cyber psychology, Attrell defined the area as the study of psychological processes, motivations, intentions, behavioral outcomes, and effects on both our online and offline worlds associated with any form of technology. Excuse me. I think that gives a useful indication of the area. A few years before that, Norman, in a second edition of a book on cyber psychology, encapsulated it more pithily as the study of computers, technology, and virtual environments on the psychology of individuals and of groups. So perhaps you see in general terms what the essence of cyber psychology is. Essentially, the application of the discipline of psychology to the area of online interaction in one form or another. So why forensic psychology? Because that is the subset of cyber psychology that is relevant to the law and to the courts. As everyone listening to this will be conscious, advertising these days is increasingly on the internet. It can be by online presence in a variety of ways, websites, social media, and there are many forms of social media. Increasingly, consumers of goods and services search for what they want to know online and rely upon representations that they locate on one place or another on the internet. Advertising can now be said to be principally in cyberspace rather than on paper. And when people search on cyberspace, they do so more privately. It isn't a public exercise. Their attention is often short and they go from one site to another, influenced by both the layout and appearance of what they find and of course the substance and of what they read, and the reputations of those who might be making claims and assertions. And so the falsity or the potential for representations on the internet to be misleading and deceptive is difficult, but important. The provision of health services is but one example. Health services increasingly have become commodified, with consumers, that's us, patients, increasingly viewing ourselves as consumers, seeking the best deal, looking for the best people, and comparing one option against another. In a leading book by the Harvard scholar Glenn Cohen, Patients with Passports, the area of health tourism was highlighted. Now that is an important area in India and in many other countries as well. There are many forms of health tourism: cosmetic areas, dental, transplant, fertility. Even in some countries, people come searching for opportunities to be assisted in dying. In some countries, options for treatment that are not available in the home country are offered. They might be abortion, because still some countries decline that option, or they might be innovative areas such as stem cell tourism, where what is offered is on the cutting edge of health knowledge and health technology. I proffer this simply as an example of an area of health service that is promoted on the internet and which generates considerable sums of money for the providers of the services. We all have an interest then in such services being reliable and accurate, so that people are neither duped nor exploited. All of us are emerging from the COVID-19 pandemic. I myself have spent some time writing in the area internationally. But what we can say with just a little perspective, with the passage of time since the worst of the pandemic, is that global crises such as COVID-19 create many vulnerabilities, fears, and anxieties. And what comes with such responses and fears is the opportunity for those who are charlatans and malignly inclined to take advantage of those who are vulnerable. This is no new phenomenon. We can look back at the history of pandemics internationally and see many examples of that, even during the Black Death in many centuries ago in Europe. And so too during the Russian flu and the Spanish flu, which killed so many millions of people in the immediate aftermath of the First World War. During the Russian flu of the 1890s, we find the birth of the consumer movement. Because in the case of Carlyle and Carbolic Smokeball Company, a corporation purported to offer protection against the Russian flu. And the person who purchased one of the carbolic smokeballs then contracted an illness, and she sought to recoup her money. And the case ended up making its way through the superior courts of the United Kingdom. And in that case, one can identify the commencement of the imposition of a duty by the English courts upon those advertising opportunities for health cure or health prophylaxis to be accurate in the representations that they made, and an obligation to honor such representations. In short, the carbolic smokeball lost, but consumer law was born. Now, of course, that is now 130 years ago, and much has occurred in the intervening period. I want to move now to talk to you a little bit more about modern consumer law. Essentially, one can view it as a subset of public health law, because in many countries, organs of state take action in the public interest to prevent false representations by the unscrupulous during a pandemic, but also in times which are normal. And the courts are empowered to order civil penalties for false and misleading representations, injunctions to stop such behavior, and even sometimes criminal prosecutions are initiated for fraud. Forensic cyber psychology has a role in protection of consumers. It enables us to understand better the vulnerabilities of consumers and the interventions that are needed by our state to provide meaningful protection so that the vulnerable are protected against the unscrupulous. Forensic cyber psychology helps us to gauge the effects of false representations, how potent they might be. It also assists with profiling cyber predators who are offering health services or making claims which are not scientifically sound. I thought you might be interested to hear some action taken by Australian government regulators in this area. The actions have been taken by a number of bodies which in effect have functioned as prosecutors in this area in an endeavour to protect consumers. The Australian Competition and Consumer Commission, the Therapeutic Goods Administration, and Directors of Consumer Affairs in different states. Now, let me be clear. I'm not suggesting that Australia is necessarily a place to emulate at all in this regard, nor am I holding up these cases as a powerful precedent in India. But it seemed to me that you might find interesting the innovative actions that have been taken by arms of the Australian government, informed by cyber psychology in an effort to protect consumers of health services. The first of these is a very interesting case, whose citation is there. And the action was taken by the Director of Consumer Affairs in the state of Victoria against a highly unscrupulous former dentist. He had had his registration removed for predatory behavior, and he commenced to try to make a living promulgating and promoting various unorthodox treatments, mostly for cancer, high-dose vitamin C, ozone therapy, sonodynamic therapy, and so on. What you need to know in this context was that there was no medico-scientific justification for any of the claims that he made. And of course, it is difficult to contemplate a more vulnerable category of persons than those very seriously ill with cancer. Should you be interested, one of Australia's best-known authors, Helen Garner, wrote a book about this man and how he exploited a person she knew. It's a gripping and fascinating, quite short book. And if you have an opportunity to find it online or otherwise, I urge you to read it. It is very moving and very well written. It is called The Spare Room. At any rate, what occurred in real life was that the government of Victoria, through its Department of Consumer Affairs, took action against this man, Dr. Campbell, as he used to be, to try to stop the advertising in which he was engaging and the business which he was conducting, which was predatory and which was causing significant distress to people who were very vulnerable, and which was dissuading many people from obtaining orthodox therapy it was also giving them false hope. At first instance, before a single judge of the Supreme Court, it was held that essentially, if people obtain services after reading claims online, that was their issue. And although some of the claims were accepted by the single judge as inaccurate, he was not prepared to take action on the basis of what Dr. Campbell was doing by way of misleading and deceptive advertising. His judgment went on appeal to Victoria's highest court, the Court of Appeal, and from there can be an appeal to Australia's highest court, the High Court. The Court of Appeal overturned the single judge decision emphatically and held that what Dr. Campbell was doing was reprehensible and took active steps to prohibit him and his corporate business from continuing what it was doing. This was a very significant decision in Australia in terms of the accountability of persons proffering false and misleading health services. Now, so that you can be aware of the amounts of pecuniary penalties which have been imposed in these cases, here is the current conversion rate between the Australian dollar and the Indian rupee. Let me then go to 3 cases, all of which are really rather interesting. The Australian Consumer and Competition Commission brought an action against a corporation that provided activewear for women. You might say, why are we being told this? And the answer is that the corporation Lorna Jane Proprietary Limited claimed during the COVID-19 pandemic that it had placed in its clothing a shield which protected people against contracting COVID-19. Now, of course, this was absolute nonsense, but it did assist them to sell more of their activewear. So the ACCC took action against the corporation, which is a well-known corporation in Australia, alleging their conduct to be misleading and deceptive. The company ended up admitting it, but they were fined 5 million Australian dollars, which is, to put it in American terms, I haven't done the conversion because the numbers would be too big to rupees, but it would be somewhere between 3.5 and 4 million United States dollars. So a very big penalty indeed. Injunctions were issued and the company was required to publish corrective notices about how misleading its advertising had been. So a very strong, a potent set of consequences for the conduct by the company. In another case around the same time, not focusing on COVID matters, excuse me, the Department of Health, the Therapeutic Goods Administration, took action against a company that was advertising peptides, which are protein amino acids, for a variety of claims that it made that its peptides constituted therapeutic products for a wide variety of health conditions. Once again, there was no medico-scientific justification for the claims made, and the Federal Court of Australia found that it was likely that the representations would arouse unwarranted and unrealistic expectations in relation to the efficacy of the treatment by way of peptides. This company was fined $10 million, so over 8 million US dollars in pecuniary penalties, and declarations were made by the court in relation to the breaches of the law engaged in by the company. So you can see how tough the penalties are and how assertive the involvement of the courts has been in an effort to protect consumers. And a last case was one in which I actually prosecuted. It was again an action brought by the Therapeutic Goods Administration against a man who had been registered as a chiropractor, but had been deregistered because of his improper business practices and the false claims that he had made. As an unregistered practitioner this time, he continued to make false claims about the efficacy of hyperbaric oxygen therapy. In fact, he treated the tennis player Novak Djokovic during the Australian Open on a number of occasions. Now, what he was doing in that regard was not unlawful, but when he started to make claims about the efficacy of hyperbaric oxygenation for treatment of COVID-19, Alzheimer's disease, HIV/AIDS, cancer, and so on, his claims were without any medico-scientific justification and were grossly improper. They were false and misleading claims in the health area. The court ultimately found that there was a real risk of major financial harm to patients who were charged significant sums by Mr. Hooper. They found that also there was a danger that patients would avoid orthodox treatments and be seduced into paying money for hyperbaric oxygen therapy, which in fact would not assist them at all. This time the penalties were a little bit less, but they were enough to drive him out of business. Penalties of $2 million against the corporation and $1 million personally against the director. So I cite these examples for your interest, not as authorities that are binding internationally in any way, but as I think interesting examples of harnessing consumer law to protect persons at a very vulnerable place in their lives. Forensic cyberpsychology has played a role in enabling better understanding of the risk posed by false health representations made by health practitioners, whether they are registered, formally registered, or not registered at all. In many ways, it doesn't matter. If they are holding themselves out as providers of specialist care or therapeutics, they have been held to have responsibilities to be accurate in the way in which they make their representations and conduct their advertising. Forensic cyberpsychology also explains better what we know intuitively, how vulnerable patients are, especially those who have conditions such as Alzheimer's or cancer, HIV, and many other conditions which you can think of. Forensic cyberpsychology also illustrates the dangers of such deceptive advertising of services, how potent such advertising can be, and how influential it can be, especially in times of community vulnerability, such as during a pandemic. The discipline of forensic cyberpsychology also underpins the thinking and the legitimacy of the law's imposition of major forms of deterrence and the making of injunctive and similar relief by courts to stop such misleading and deceptive conduct. In other words, it provides an extra means of understanding and fashioning consumer law in this area. Now, it seemed to me that you might find these examples interesting in your consideration of cyber law and the threats that are posed from so many different sources on the internet to each one of us, how the law can contribute to inhibiting unsatisfactory behavior, and how we all need to continue to assist consumer protection law to evolve so that it protects the vulnerable in our community. I hope you find that an interesting, perhaps novel aspect of cyber law, but one that prompts further thinking on your part about both how psychology, in this instance forensic cyber psychology, can contribute to how we view predation and exploitation, and how we can fashion the law to protect the vulnerable amongst us more effectively. I'm very grateful for the invitation to talk to you, and I hope you have found that of interest.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. May I now request Ashok Badri to kindly present platform and enlighten the audience with your valuable words of wisdom. Please.
Honorable Major, thank you, sir. Thank you, madam, for the invitation. Honorable Major General Rajendra Kumar, sir, Director of MIT Law School, Gwalior. Professor Dr. Rakhi Singh Chauhan, madam, who is the Deputy Director of the MIT Law School, Gwalior, being convener. Faculty Coordinator Dr. Vijay Shivasa, sir, Associate Professor of Law, with whom I had a long association for almost association of 1.5 years. So this is another occasion that I get to speak with all of you, this time in the form of international conference on emerging threats of cybercrime and cybersecurity's ways forward. And this being the broader theme of the conference, and I'm sure all the participants, the delegates must have explored their respective area of research. They must have presented their respective area of study in the form of paper in the for the past 2 days in the form of this conference. Something being, very interesting subthemes I came across when I was just browsing through the brochure of the event, cyber crimes and its interface with the intellectual property rights infringement. It's beautiful, the kind of innovation on the part of the organizers to identify the contemporary areas, new areas wherein how law plays or how there can be an interdisciplinary approach. Interdisciplinary approach in the sense, how IP, intellectual property rights issues could be seen in the form of cyber crimes or could be seen in the form of or in the domain of cyber security area. So that shows the in-depth understanding of the subject on the part of the organizers, and that's why they made it as a one of the sub themes for the researchers to present their paper. They also put forth the cyber crime and cyber psychology. Cyber psychology being a new area which is emerging, which is cropping up in this area, and there is a lot of opportunities for the academicians to write on multiple issues with respect to cyber psychology, how these psychological principles, how psychological doctrines could be explored. Just now, one guest, our honorable guest from Australia, has rightly pointed out, put forth his thought, his experiences he has, and his approach with respect to linkage of cyberspace, cybercrime, and cyber psychology, how different types of advertisements in online spaces, how they can allure you, how you will fall prey to their requests, their advertisement, their information, which they bombard on you, which they bombard on the customers. So again, that's the second sub theme that this conference, the organizers made it point to prescribe. The conference also had cybercrime, cyberspace, and cybersecurity area. Cybersecurity, again, side by side, it's a parallel discipline to be studied along with cybercrime. I personally feel, because even government of India has acknowledged acknowledged the significance of the cybersecurity, and government not just in the form of just in the form of passing of laws, but government has also gone further, and government has come up with a cybersecurity policy. Government has, through the Ministry of Electronics and Information and Communication Technology, they are taking all the stakeholders into consideration. Like, for example, different think tanks, the Society for Internet, which is situated in Bangalore, they're getting suggestions from them. There are several NGOs, PUCL, for example, the People's Union for Civil Liberties, which is an NGO, or which is a think tank. Data Security Council of India, the Data Corporation of India. So these are the think tanks, these are the NGOs, organizations government is in touch with, and government is trying to formulate a policy about cybersecurity. Of course, initially government has given some guidelines with respect to the significance of cybersecurity and how cybersecurity could be seen as a means to combat various cyber crimes. Our law enforcement agency, somewhat it feels the data which is published by National Crimes Research Bureau, NCRB, they have shown the data how there has been less reporting of cyber crimes. People are not coming forth. People are not forthcoming. They're not reporting cyber crimes. In fact, they are not understanding what exactly cybercrime is all about, because cybercrime is not defined. And even if it is defined, the normal people, ordinary citizens, they may not come to know where exactly cybercrime has happened, in the form of which activity or which behavior cybercrime will happen, what loss will happen to us, whether it will be a loss to person, loss to the property of a person, or loss to the records or the information or data of the individual person, or maybe financial loss to the person. So we don't have any idea. We don't have clarity as to how cyber crimes are committed against us. We are not aware that cyber crimes are committed against us on daily basis. Crimes are committed, may not be cyber crime, at least some civil wrongs are being committed against you. So far as cyberspace is concerned, maybe your data is stolen, maybe illegal access is secured to your device, to your mobile phone or to a laptop or to any other device that you use in so as to access internet or the network, computer network. So we don't know. So maybe in your mobile phone there is a bug, a bug or some unusual activity that may be going on, for which you don't have any idea. So how cyberspace plays a great role. Government is trying to propagate, government is trying to create an awareness about it in the form of various campaigns, by organizing several weeks of celebration of cyberspace week, or celebration of cyber awareness week. Like that, government is taking initiative. The question comes, why government is taking initiative? Government is taking initiative because cyber security or various means of cyber securities, it has a lot of potential of combating or fighting against the menace of cyber crimes, because law enforcement agency has failed. We have failed in understanding. We have failed in reporting. Law enforcement agency has failed tracking of such cyber criminals. Law enforcement agency has failed effectively working in the area of cybercrime. Information Technology Act is not effective. Less reporting of crimes, less definition of cyber crimes. At times, no definition of cyber crime, or a particular cyber crime is not given in the statute. So either we have to depend on our traditional criminal law, or we have to depend on some international laws, or we have to fight our case on the basis of justice and whatnot. So we don't have a clarity as such. So for that, what is if law is not helping us in combating cyber crimes, or if legal system is not helping us, so what helps us? Cyber security as a practice, cyber security as our behavior, cyber security as a norm, as a protocol in cyberspace, that comes to you and that helps. Number of things, number of words I have used about cyber security, which is the third sub theme of this conference, that I used word that cyber security is a norm. It could be a norm in the form of a law. Cybersecurity could be a pattern of behavior. It could be a set of rules, or it could be a set of behavior, or it could be a modality, or it could be a procedure to use a particular device, procedure to communicate with somebody, or maybe a modality to use information and communication technologies, various applications, various web portals, how to maintain data, how to preserve data, how to communicate data. So all these things are taught in cybersecurity regime. So cybersecurity is basically a bundle of norms, a bundle of rules, bundle of pattern of behaviors, some modalities, some techniques. It is also part of technique, and it is also a technical thing. It is also a security measure which you can use while using information and communication technologies, or while accessing a computer network, or while using any mobile application and whatnot, any kind of behavior or activity in cyberspace. So that way, cybersecurity is of lot of significant, and at international level, lot of initiatives have been taken in furtherance of cybersecurity. So that I'll come to, of course, in the further part, because I'm going to speak not more than 10 to 15 minutes, but then I'll focus on cybersecurity in general. So I was just giving a passing reference to the sub themes, and I'm just trying to. Of course, I did not attend last date presentations, but I'm very sure. I'm very sure that the presenters must have presented on these sub themes only. They must have come up with the suggestions, recommendations, Or if not suggestions or recommendations, they must have come up with the findings, such as how information technology as act is not efficient enough to tackle or to deal with the cyberspace. So they might have come up with the findings, and for that I congratulate the organizers, the honorable director, sir, convener, and faculty coordinators for bringing this very innovative area in the form of international conference. So moving on to the fourth sub theme of this conference, I think fourth sub theme is something like cyberspace, virtual reality, or metaverse. We are now moving towards the world of metaverse. Our reaction when internet had come, when internet at the time of inception of internet, what was our reaction? Our reaction was, we were very we had a feeling like, as if we are going to have some adventurous activity. It was internet was some sort of adventure. Now internet is no more an adventure. Now metaverse is going to be an adventure for all of us. We are going to enter into a virtual world now. Literally our personality, our identity, our existence will be in virtual world. So Facebook has taken initiative in furtherance of metaverse. What is metaverse? What change it is going to make in our lives, how we are going to lead our lives, how we are going to interact, the advanced method of interaction, the 2.0 method of interaction with the humans, with the friends, with the family members, with the colleagues, or with the persons in the market, how we can purchase the goods, how we can travel outside, how we can visit different places. All these things will happen in the virtual world. Imagine number of wrongs that it will give rise to. Imagine the mischief that it will cause to. Imagine the kind of loss or kind of, the legal injury that metaverse is going to put forth before us. So how legal system is going to respond? What cybersecurity will play a role in combating or in preventing the menace which we may face by welcoming metaverse? So we are going to enter into a virtual reality. Cyberspace is now changing its place. We are actually, so in virtual spaces we might be given some legal personality to interact with the others if metaverse is to be accepted. As on for last 2 decades we are talking about, or we are discussing about artificial intelligence, the machine learning, deep learning. Now this thing has become old thing. It's a matter of history, not matter of history. We are still welcoming different types of AIs, artificial intelligence techniques, but now we are moving to advanced level of internet world, and that being metaverse. So let's see, the time only will tell us what metaverse is going to pose kind of challenges, and at the same time the kind of opportunities that we are going to explore in the form of metaverse. In fact, before we legally welcome metaverse, there has been a case wherein there has been a complaint wherein it was complained about the how sexual threats were given to one lady. Virtually, one lady was given threat to commit offense of rape against her, virtually speaking. So now how dangerous it is. So what will happen to the virtual rape? Threats are given to you are being threatened in the virtual world, in the world of metaverse. So who is going to face the liability? How you are going to face the liability? Whether that is a real offense or not, as per our traditional laws or maybe our modern laws in the times to come. So all these issues, I'm sure the participants must have addressed. The research scholars, sorry, the presenters must have addressed in the form of their, presentation for past 2 days. Cyber fraud, one more area, sub theme of this conference. Artificial intelligence. Just now I've spoken about how in different domain artificial intelligence or techniques of AI are being used. In multiple things, in online purchasing, or in selling, in e-commerce market, or in communication applications, or in messaging apps, or any type of application for innovation or for communication, for sharing of knowledge, for even for health sector, for insurance sector, for banking sector, governance, education. Artificial intelligence or techniques like AI, they are getting used. We are training machines. So when we are training machines, even you might have come across with the vehicles being driverless vehicles are coming up. So many things are coming up, all of you are aware of. But then being a researcher or being a part of legal fraternity, our duty is to explore the kind of opportunities that we are going to have, or the kind of challenges that we are going to face, or the kind of legal problems we are going to face. So how law will respond, because we are part of legal fraternity. We must focus on these areas. Of course, let us welcome AI. Let us welcome deep learning, machine learning things, virtual reality, metaverse. Let us welcome them. Let us welcome also the chat GPT. Chat GPT is, people are saying it is costing, it is at the cost of labor, it is at the cost of employment, it is at the cost of creativity of humans, it is at the cost of copyright infringement and whatnot. Many things they are saying that chat GPT can do that. But what is chat GPT? Is it some wonder of the nature, or is it something, a gift of God? No, it is not wonder of nature. It is not natural process. It is not a gift of God. So what exactly it is? It is human creation only. Some intelligence we have pour. What we have done? We have pour some intelligence in the machines, and our own intelligence is being used by the machines. So if you ask something to the applications like Chat GPT, what they are going to respond, something which is written in the textbook somewhere in the library, same thing is going to be repeated and same thing is going to be informed to you. What new is going to be informed to you? So new, it's all about discovery. It's all about research. Chat GPT is also based on research. It is based on programming. It is based on training given to the machine, to the application. So, but then it is a lot of issues that we are facing. Loss of employment, right to livelihood may come into picture. If state has to welcome such applications, what will happen to the livelihood of the persons? The software companies will lay off retrenchment that they will go for, and they will remove all employees who are of no value if chat gpt applications like chat gpt, they are replacing human work. So it's a big question, how natural process we can change. The traditional way of doing research, the traditional way of finding out solutions, finding out answers, like, so all these things are at stake. So let's see how the time only will tell us. But our duty, being a part of legal fraternity, that we must focus on the research in these areas. So hence such conference, international conference of such a stature is very significant, and I'm very glad that I got this opportunity to be a part of this international conference, right? So the like this, there are so many issues that are there in the form of sub themes that we can see. Jurisdiction problem, again one more basic problem. Jurisdiction problem is a real problem of law. It's not a problem of technology. Of course, it's a problem of technology, but then the legal system is facing problem when it comes to the place of suit. So place of suit we are unable to identify, because internet is borderless. It is beyond boundaries. It does not see the physical boundaries that we have. It will not see the sovereignty. It will not see the border. It will not see the fencing. It may, information could be passed on to or delivered to the person sitting in another country, or crime can be committed by the person who is sitting in another country, or any civil wrong can be done by any person who is sitting in the foreign country. And so the question comes, whether a victim will have jurisdiction, or if the accused will have jurisdiction, or which court is going to have jurisdiction, where prosecution is to be initiated, where trial is to be conducted, which substantial law is applicable to the present to particular case. All these questions are there in the form of jurisdiction question. I'm sure again the participants or the delegates must have presented something about jurisdiction, and deliberations must had happened in the panel discussion about jurisdiction. Various cases are there. uh, Legislature also laid down certain rules with respect to prescribing jurisdiction, but solution they have not suggested. Only law they passed, rules they laid down, but the solution they have not offered to us. Judiciary is struggling, we are struggling with respect to jurisdiction problem. So technology has its own answer. Let us see how far we are going to provide solution to problem of jurisdiction. E-commerce and cybersecurity, again the last sub theme of this conference. E-commerce is now reality. Virtual spaces is now reality. So now, being a part of legal fraternity, all of you must understand how e-commerce has become a part of, a management professional may not focus upon how e-commerce became a part of law, or maybe a commerce student, a commerce discipline person who is learning commerce may not focus on this. Business administration may not focus on this. But being a part of legal fraternity, your duty is to, being a researcher, you must explore, and I'm sure you must have explored how e-commerce has come into the legal domain, how we have recognized in the form of Information Technology Act. What is the support? In fact, I can tell you, if I can talk about e-commerce, e-commerce is the only reason why in India we have Information Technology Act, because Information Technology Act, which is a cyber law of India, which was passed in the year 2000, is passed solely because we had to recognize e-commerce domain. So for e-commerce domain, firstly we had to give legal recognition to electronic record. Electronic record, if you keep, if any government officer keeps electronic record in computer, if cyber law or IT Act is not there, legal backing is not there, that process, that transaction, that record may not be legally recognized. So first of all, e-record has been accorded with legal recognition. Then digital signature is recognized. Then electronic contract was recognized. Then cyber security measures were applied to digital signature, to electronic signature, to electronic contract. Some safety measures have been laid down by the law, and then that way e-commerce industry has come up. Industry e-commerce domain has come up. So it is Information Technology Act 2000, which is passed by Indian legislature due to its obligation under UN, United Nations Commission on International Trade Law. This commission adopted model law on e-commerce in 1996. So this model law on e-commerce suggested model of e-commerce, how you should be accepting e-commerce domain, how sellers will be there in the market, how buyers, who are the buyers, how they will interact with the seller or with the purchase, with the vendor, what kind of contract, how they can enter into contract, how they will sign, what is digital signature, what cyber security you must use while purchasing anything in e-commerce. All these things are ensured. Payment gateways, how payment is to be made. Reserve Bank of India had to recognize payment gateways. Government of India has to recognize UPI, through which we can make online payments. So internet banking was recognized by various banks. They gave us facility. So e-commerce domain has developed. At the same time, e-governance domain is also developed. So let me tell you, e-commerce we have accepted, we have adapted. So this conference has focused on these aspects. I'm sure there may be any other issue that the participant must have, focused upon. Cybersecurity, as I told you, being the key area I wanted to discuss. Cybersecurity could be seen, as I told you, as a rule or as a bundle of practices. Because, for example, firewall. Having firewall in a particular organization, and that organization being, completely based on data. So that organization must use firewall. Firewall controls the outside data to be cropped in or to be intervened in your system. So only relevant data will be allowed to pass on in particular organization. This is just one example. Antivirus. This is another example how one should use antivirus. Putting off Wi-Fi when not is used, when not in use. Using safe network. Then not talking to, not clicking on some suspicious link, not falling prey to phishing emails or phishing SMS. There are so many bundle of behaviors, bundle of norms, either law has given or either cybersecurity experts have told us that we should, how we should behave in cyberspace while conducting webinar, what security safety measures we should undertake while chit chatting with somebody, what safety measures one should undertake while downloading something, what safety measures we should undertake while uploading something, what secure measures we should have while visiting any particular website or while browsing in the internet, what kind of browser we must have, what kind of search engine we must have, what kind of antivirus we should have. So all these, different and numerous, techniques of cybersecurities. But now law is talking about cybersecurity. Law has interfered. Now government is planning to make cybersecurity as a compulsory endeavor. This international conference theme is emerging threats of cybercrime and cybersecurity's ways forward. What do you mean by ways forward? Way forward in the sense, what government is going to do? Way forward in the sense, what opportunities we are going to have. Way forward in the sense, what problems we are going to face in cyberspace. How government is going to respond. Today we are, envisaging all those problems. Today we are anticipating the opportunities. We are identifying, understanding problems, legal problems, and today we are trying to provide solution beforehand. That's the purpose of international conference. So I feel, I'm very humbled, to have been invited as a guest of honor for this validity session of international conference on emerging threats of cybercrime and cybersecurity ways forward. I'm also humbled to have been invited and to have been welcomed by Major General Rajendra Kumar sir, who is the director of Amity Law School, Gwalior. I would like to also thank Honorable Professor Dr. Rakhi Singh Chauhan, Madam, who is the Deputy Director of the institution, for providing me this opportunity, and especially Dr. Vijay Srivastava, sir, a very good friend of mine, a very good, I can say, extended colleague of mine in the legal fraternity, who is Associate Professor in Amity Law School, Gwalior. A very big thank to you, and I congratulate organizers once again, and to all the participants, delegates, and research scholars and academicians, cyber professionals, cyber stakeholders, forensic experts, advocates, information technology professionals who participated in these 2 days international conference. They gave their valuable suggestions, and I'm sure all these papers will be accumulated together and will be published in the form of a paper or maybe a journal. I do not know what is the plan. I will also contribute my own paper. I have written an extensive paper on cybersecurity. I have been writing on cybersecurity. So I will also share my paper with all of you. If organizers will permit, I will also contribute to your upcoming journal or book, whatever you are going to publish. So once again, I congratulate, and once again, I convey my thanks and deep regards to all of you. Thank you. A very good evening to one and all.
Thank you, sir. Now, to mark this serious event with the commending of the participants and their passionate performances, we can feel the excitement and thrills raging through every person present here who is eagerly waiting to know the final results. Now, it is time for acknowledging the efforts of all the participants. May I request Professor Dr. Vijay Srivastava, Associate Professor, the coordinator of the conference, to announce the names of the winners. Please, sir.
Thank you, Prasha. Uh, the most awaited phase or stage of the event, which is I hope every participant is waiting for that moment. So it is my privilege to announce the result, and the winner or achiever is Dr. Lakshman Singh Rawat, Assistant Professor, Faculty of Law, BHU, Varanasi. Best presentation. Lakshman sir, are you here? Am I audible? Congratulations, Lakshman ji. You have presented your paper in a very excellent manner, and it was really a brainstorming session. So thank you and congratulations.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for organizers to give me this opportunity to share my epistemic understanding, a little bit understanding with you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And
Congratulations.
next presenter, second runner-up is Miss Sudhansi Sikarwar, student of LLM, Amity Law School, Amity University, Madhya Pradesh. Sudhansi, congratulations to you also. And best research paper award goes to Mr. Ashok Kumar, research scholar, University of Delhi. Ashok ji, congratulations to all, you also. Ashok ji, are you here? Okay, it's okay, and congratulations to all of you, and congratulations to every participant and who have made an effort to success this event. And please keep on researching, keep on presenting your intellectual views on this topic. Thank you. Thanks to all of you.
Congratulations to all the winners. Thank you, dignitaries, for doing us the honors. I now request our Deputy Director, Professor Dr. Rakhi Singh Chauhan, Amity Law School, Amity University, Madhya Pradesh, to kindly deliver the vote of thanks. Please, ma'am.
Thank you, Prisha. Organizing such international conferences, obviously, it's a difficult task. It needs a lot of labor all my team, entire team was quite tugged up since last few days in it. So it's very obvious to deliver a good vote of thanks for all of them. So at first, at the outset, yes, of course, I would like to thank our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Lieutenant General V.K. Sharma, for giving us this opportunity and always being a helping hand to us in organizing such good events and permitting us to do this. Yes, I thank Professor Dr. M.P. Kaushik, Pro Vice Chancellor, MIT University, for always being there with us and guiding us. I do thank Major General Rajinder Kumar, Director, MIT Law School, for standing with us always and guiding us. He always has been a guiding force in MIT Law School in organizing such events and correcting us where we are going wrong. Apart from this, we had a good number of guests in these 2 days who had made this event really successful event by giving good inputs, good intellectual inputs, I must say. So from my core of heart, I thank to all the guests who have given their valuable time in last 2 days. Dr. Ashok Vajje is with us. Dr. Vajje, I'm really thankful to you that you are here. You have spared your valuable time here. I can understand how National Law University is making you busy always. Till then, you are here with us. I'm thanking you on
Thank you,
behalf
madam.
of MIT University.
It is completely my pleasure, madam.
Yes.
Thank you.
I thank all my faculty members. I thank faculty coordinators, Dr. Vijay Srivastav, Ms. Vartika Saxena, for being on to always in organizing this event. I thank the student coordinators, the entire team who were really working hard. I could see since last few days they were working hard for making this conference successful. I thank all my faculty members. A special thanks to IT team of Noida, MIT Noida, who always are there to make the online event successful, providing us the link and managing this all from Noida itself. And I thank the participants, especially who came here and participated in our event. My congratulations to the prize winners and my thanks to all the participants who registered and participated, even if they have not presented the paper. From here, when I'm thanking you, I'm also inviting you for another session of this international conference next year. So thank you all. Thank you so much.
Ma'am, shall I close the session?
Oh, no.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Here we have come to the commutation of this valedictory session. And thank you, everyone, and have a frivolous Friday.
Yes, to Noida team, may I request you, we can close the session now.